Welcome to an F1 Shakedown, the podcast. Wayne Williams and Bart Murphy. It's the Mexico 2024 recap, and what a race it was. What a vibe. What a party. Racing. You know what? Formula One, say what you will, is no longer boring. Right?
No, that's for sure.
Where you had that front runner, and that was it. They're gone, and then you deal with what's happening midfield, right? But now, wow, and drivers are just like taking liberties that we've never seen before because of the close racing. And we got to talk about, of course, the fantastic race. We got to talk about Max Verstappen literally losing his mind when his best friend in racing says that this guy, quote, air quotes, this guy is dangerous. Come on now. We needs to talk.
We do.
Art, what's good?
Oh, not much. Not much. It was, another great race. Alonso's 400 start. That's why I'm wearing the old Minardi shirt. Not really technically start. It could be this weekend. What's that?
A classic.
Yeah. It's, that's where he started, right? Was Minardi back in,
Yep.
I don't know, the beginning of time, like 2001.
2001.
Yeah. So the debate is whether it's his 400 start was last weekend or it's this weekend coming up because of that whole U.S. Grand Prix where he actually didn't start because of the Michelin tires. You remember that, Schmozzle? So, yeah. But yeah, great race. Excellent race.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that one for sure. And I don't know, let's talk about predictions. I don't know, somebody predicted.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I did have Yuki on the podium too. So
That's true.
I was wrong all over the place. My fantasy team took a beating. No, kudos to you. No, that was great. You said Sainz, and the helmet came through.
Yeah, it did. You got some got some luck on that Day of the Dead type helmet. Yeah, that was a great race, and good for him too. He said he wanted to win one more before he left Ferrari, and so far he has been there. He may win more, right?
Yeah. Do we want to show the Sainz? Do we want to show the Sainz Ferrari clip? His actually interview clip really quickly, Wayne?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Let's have a listen.
Given how good the car is, how well I'm driving recently, it's obviously optimistic going into the last 5 races. At the same time, bittersweet because it gives me a feeling Ferrari might be in the fight for the World Championship next year and I will not be there to use it. And I felt like I've been quite a big part of this team during the last 4 years trying to prepare the team to fight for that championship next year, and the fact that I'm driving well, being fast with the car, and I'm living in 5 races is definitely leaves me a bit, I don't know how to say it, but not with a very good feeling. But it's what it is. I'm going to try and, as I've said, win more races, stand in the podium for as long as I can during these 5 races and enjoy that. And then we will think about next year.
Yeah, I like that. The candid nature, his honesty. Absolutely, I agree with him. It's tough. He's helped build a team. He's driving fantastic. He's driving well.
Yep.
And he's winning races for the team, and I get it. But I also get the other side as well too. Bring on Lewis and make that happen as well too. But he's just a good guy, right? He's and what I loved about him too is when he first said that. Listen, if I was being dropped from new driver or somebody that hasn't been proven yet, okay, fine. But when I'm losing my seat to a 7-time world champion, I'm okay. I kind of get it. I had so much more respect for him, even though I felt for him leaving, losing that seat. But he's got one on an up and coming team in Williams coming up as well too. So we'll see, but the great words from Sainz, and he deserved that win for sure.
Yeah, for sure he did. I mean, yeah, and he qualified on the pole, and he didn't give it up at the first turn. like we've seen in the last couple of races. And the thing with Sainz too is he's got to know, Wayne, that Williams is part of the Mercedes world, and where he's not getting a shot with the big team yet, that's always a possibility. If he gets into Williams and he's dazzling, they might just move him up. He can't be happy with the decision of leaving. Well, it really wasn't up to him, but leaving Ferrari and going to Williams. I mean, Williams is they're coming, but it's going to be at least another few years.
Oh yeah, for sure. But to that point, I mean, what if something happens to the Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like George,
who knows? Who knows what can happen, right?
George is pretty shaky.
Yeah.
He's a good driver, but he's a little shaky, Wayne.
Yeah.
Crashing out in quali and free practice and making stupid mistakes, and he's a good driver.
Kimi Antonelli too. I mean, did you see what happened to him too? Like he was a second and a half off the pace in that FP1.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You never know, right?
No one's guaranteed a position, and Sainz is a race winner. And how many race winners do we have on the grid? Not many. So.
Yeah. No, good for him. So yeah, I mean that's the big question out there. Is just going through Racing Recap, and they have a pretty cool poll again on do you think Hamilton's going to win his 8th World Championship because Ferrari seems to have that car now, and if I were to check. So the responses are yes, no, and I have no idea. I'm enjoying this. So I agree with that too. Yeah. But as of today, when we're recording this, one day post the Mexican Grand Prix, we are at 42% with yes, 35% with no, and 22% with I have no idea. Yeah. So the yays have it when it comes to the possibility that Hamilton may win an 8th, and man, does he deserve it after being robbed, but we just won't go there right now.
Right. Technically, it would be 8.5 if he won again.
Technically, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Yeah. Let's do some standings right here. So top 5 in the driver standings, it is Sainz with 240, Piastri with 251, Leclerc at 291, Norris at 315, and Verstappen, of course, 362 in the number 1 position. And that Constructors' Championship, man, that's getting tight, right?
Wow.
Okay,
wow.
Top 5 here, Aston Martin, Mercedes at 366, Red Bull at 512, Ferrari at 537, and McLaren at 566.
It's going to go down to the last race.
It just might.
I think it will. I think the way things are going, it's going to go down to the last race, and that's going to be a real barn burner, that one for sure.
So let's talk about the race.
Yes.
Let's talk about the race. Turn 4 fiasco. We'll name man, what a mess. What an absolute mess. So, just right off the bat. I mean, we were, cars were just sandwiching where 4 cars should not have been.
Yeah.
Side by side, right? So let's chat. What do you think?
Well, I thought it was amazing, and again, a Ferrari was benefited from the Max and Lando fight. Even though Norris got the position back at the end of the race, Leclerc was, he took over second place really early on. I thought it was a great race. It's Liam, like a couple of the back markers were sort of surprising for me. Liam Lawson had a disastrous race, and he's not making friends out there giving Perez the finger as he was going by, passing him, and Alonso's not too keen on this kid either. So, obviously, like an unbelievable race with the McLarens coming at the end. You kind of wish, I just obviously wish that there were 5 or 6 more laps just to see if Lando could catch Sainz at the end. But it is great to see him win. Yeah. What was your highlight? What was your highlight of the race?
Yeah, again, Sites, winning just flawless race and passing the pass on Verstappen was even with the straight, the shorten on the DRS. The speed of that fry right now is pretty intense, man. Uh, and let's just talk about the fact that turn four, those both episodes with Norris, like the first one was bad enough, but then the second one where he literally
Yeah.
just hunted, just stuck his car, just shot down that down the apex there, and just and then just ran him out the track pretty much both times. And again, to the point that Norris is just talking about how kind of dangerous and scary it's becoming. And then people are talking about the fact that, is it, he's frustrated because of the performance of the Red Bull now. It's like, you guys do remember Max's history, right? From day one, this guy has been dangerous, right?
Yeah.
He was nuts when he was a rookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he somewhat calmed down when he, somewhat calmed down, because he always doesn't want anybody to pass him.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, him and Hamilton has had some, anybody that is contending with him in terms of speed and performance on the track is, trying to pass, Verstappen has always been a tough thing. And not necessarily because, the driver coming at him isn't fast enough. It's just because you don't know what Verstappen's going to do, what you don't expect him to do, and the crazy move that you don't expect him to do, he will do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what's going on right now. And people have become a little timid because of how dangerous it is to pass this guy.
Yeah, totally. It reminds me a little bit again, and we've compared him to Michael Schumacher, but when Schumi wasn't winning, and he was getting passed by even Villeneuve in that championship race in '97, he tried to take him out. He's just ruthless, and it's you gotta pull that back. You gotta know when your car or you aren't as good as your competitors, and putting people in danger, driving people off the track and driving off the track yourself. Yeah, I think he absolutely deserved every 20-second
every 20 seconds and
penalty
more
that he got.
matter, right?
Every second that he got, for sure.
And the thing is, I don't want to take away from this guy is an amazing talent, right?
Yes.
Like he's one of the best drivers, obviously, over the last, little while, like decade or so. And he doesn't need to go there.
Right. Well,
he's so quick and he's so talented, but he's just so aggressive on the other side, right?
It's true. Well, Hamilton won 7 world championships without driving anybody off the track.
Like that, exactly.
Right? So there's ways in Sebastian Vettel, same thing. Kimi Räikkönen, bit of a wild cat, but he never drove anybody off, never pushed anybody off the track so much that the driver thought it was dangerous. So, so there are ways to win without being reckless like that.
That is true, but overall, just a really exciting race to watch, and not only midfield, but obviously for the lead, which is how many times do you see those kind of moves for the actual lead of the race, right?
Yeah.
And then just even from the beginning, with Tsunoda getting kind of messed up in there, I don't know. That sandwich was kind of funny, but I mean, guys, you can't win a race on the first lap, right? I know the race was by heart and you see an opening, but sometimes, golly, patience is that virtue, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Albon had nowhere to go, so it wasn't his fault. But he was taken out, obviously, too, which was unfortunate. Do we want to talk about Sergio Perez, or do we just want to move right
Go ahead.
through?
Yeah. Of course. I honestly don't know how he still has a seat next year, but anyways.
Yeah, so he started 18th. He lines up outside of his starting grid. And did you hear his race engineer came on and said, "Oh, you're getting a false start penalty." He said, "Oh no, my start was great." Well, Well, your start was great, but you were 10 feet outside of your grid
I
box.
know. I know. He goes, what? No, no. What did he say? Nope. That was great.
Yeah, nope, that was a great start.
Okay. You were
Yeah.
what? 2 feet in front of,
Yeah,
the
he was
meter.
he was really far in front of that thing. So, uh, and
Talk about it. He's getting those to me. Sorry, that's a rookie mistake, man.
big time, big time.
Parrish should not be making mistakes like that. Making that kind of money for a team like Red Bull, and they're putting up with it. What is it the money? Is it the money that he brings along? Because I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
100%. It has to be sponsorship at this point for sure. The battle with Lawson, that was a bit of a disaster. The battle with Stroll, where he pushed him off the track, and there was
Yeah.
damage there. And then to add insult to injury, Wayne, he pits it near the end of the race, puts soft tires on to get the fastest lap. Not only does he not get the fastest lap, that went to Charles, he finished last.
Oh
This
yeah.
guy finished last in the race.
Yeah.
And what, a lap down from his teammate? I mean, it's just, you got to, I feel for him, but boy, oh boy, it's getting to the point now where, they have to do something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is it me or teams, taking their time to get rid of some of the non-performing drivers these days? I don't know. Like normally, I don't know if it's a contract thing. It's to your point about sponsorship money and like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, Roman Grosjean, we always thought he was going to kill somebody or himself. He was in the sport way too long.
Yeah.
Logan Sargent was way in over his head. Yeah, so you're right. They do hang around a little bit longer, but I think it is sponsorship money because,
Yeah.
if we look back in history and we're wondering why is this guy racing, and then we find out later, oh yeah, he brought sponsorship money to the team. Yeah, even Claire Williams was talking about Latifi. Latifi left the seat because of money. So yeah, we always wondered about
Stroll, Lance Stroll. But
Well,
yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. But
yeah,
I remember when Sargent, I kind of was a little tough on him, which rightly so. I remember one of his first races, he was almost sick in the car. Like he couldn't handle the pressure of the heat, G forces. He was complaining that he was going to throw up or something like that, and he wasn't sick as in medically, physically sick before the race, like had a flu or a bug or something. He just couldn't handle the heat.
yeah,
And
they get
it was
water.
it was an endurance thing for him, right?
Yeah, and they have water. There's water bottles in the car. I mean, we just heard Charles in that last race. He was getting waterboarded or whatever because the water was coming out every time he.
Oh, really?
Every time he was warming up the tires, he said the water was coming out of his water bottle. But yeah, So he's not racing anymore, and probably for a good reason. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah, I knew they had water bottles, but I thought that they have it. Isn't it that it's a mechanism and it's a tube that goes. Yeah, and then I know that sometimes they use that. For the most part, they use water, and then sometimes even have those cooling vests, right?
Yes.
It's for like the races that are like in the Middle East and the United Arab Emirates, are like where it's insane, right? They're losing, how many 5 to 7, just a lot of weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I get it. And if you don't, these guys are prime athletes, man. You can't mess around with the fact that they are some of the most fit athletes on the planet, right?
Yeah, for sure. So did you hear that Verstappen is getting they have to do an engine change for Interlagos, and he's getting a 5-place grid penalty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't hear that yet. So it looks like again cutting into that championship lead, right? I still don't think that Norris has enough, but
Well, he's 47
constructors
points behind, and I think there's only 120 or 140 points left.
available, yeah,
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's too late.
yeah.
Too late for that. But
Constructors is going to be great, as we mentioned earlier, though. That's going to be fun.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, at least
Yeah,
we can go there, right?
yeah,
Max will win one more, most likely. And I think after this year, I think it's fully up in the air. I don't think it's going to be a Red Bull domination after this year. And then going into 2026, when all the modification and rule changes come down, that's going to be interesting as well, too, right?
yeah. But Martin Brundle said he thinks next year is going to be an epic year, probably the best one in Formula One.
I
I
think so.
I mean, this year has been pretty amazing. I'd
Hmm.
where would you rate this year on your list of top years in Formula
Yeah,
One?
it's one of the top three. I mean, I loved when Mercedes was winning, but that did get boring as well too, right? So
Yeah,
just in terms of excitement, right? This is right up there.
yeah,
I would say, the year that Max and Lewis were going at it until down to that last race, obviously the infamous
yeah,
last race. And so far, and then this year, because it was great to see Formula One go down to the last race as opposed to somebody winning the championship 4 races before the season's over, right?
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm with you on that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what else we got here? We got you touched on Yuki Tsunoda. What do you want to go a little further on that? Like, do you think? I know he got messed up this race, but I think he's got a chance. Talking of going back to the whole Perez thing, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. Like we said in the last show, he really should be up there anyway.
Hmm.
And the last race aside, he's had an amazing season, and a lot
Yeah.
better than Sergio. So if you're just going based on that, then they should swap them out. Let Sergio drive a Red Bull and see what, or an RB instead for a couple of races, see how that goes.
Do you think? I don't know if he. Do you think he would go there? Like, I think he would probably retire, right? If imagine they did a swap, like yeah, like you said, I think that he would just retire
I
because
think
that would
so.
be, yeah, that'd be ugly.
Yeah,
I know he doesn't need the money, like he's got that money, you know,
yeah,
he came with sponsorship money, so I think at some point it would probably be better just to change formulas, right? Just do something different. Just do just
yeah,
race in Le Mans or something, right? Do
yeah,
something crazy, just do something different as opposed to go down, get demoted, if you will.
yeah, yeah. It's like a major leaguer going down to the minor leagues, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
they
exactly.
usually retire if they don't make it
Yeah.
back up.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you're
Start
absolutely
his own
right.
team. Put some money into a team and do something in racing. But I mean, he's been around for a minute. I mean, it's not like
He
like come on,
has. He has. I think
right?
he's been around for 9 or 10 years now. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's been a good career for him.
It has been, yeah.
Yeah. So
It has been. All right. So we want to go. Let's talk about this triple header is kind of nice.
yeah,
Right? Exciting.
it's great. It's great, and yeah, and if we remember the Brazil 2023 version, it's Charles Leclerc crashed out. Remember on the formation lap,
Oh
and then there,
yeah.
and then there was a Max and Lando battle. Max won that one, but yeah, it'd be nice to see another version of the Max and Lando boxing match.
Well, what's going on now? I think there definitely will be, right? So I think it'll be Red Bull again. It'll be Ferrari, it'll be McLaren, maybe Mercedes. We'll see, but it should be interesting.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got for today. What about you? Anything else you want to wrap it up with?
No, just kudos to you on your prediction. I gotta, I,
I don't know how often
gotta
that's
give,
going to happen.
I gotta give credit where credit is due. You did call, and you said science specifically,
Yeah.
so you won the
Yeah, I saw
prediction.
him coming. I don't know. I just saw Ferrari coming too, and he's just been driving really well lately. So,
Yeah.
and Leclerc is fast, but he's prone to mistakes, right? He really pushes a little too much sometimes, right?
He does. He's like George.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. So we'll have a little pre-race in a week or so.
Well, actually, 2 or 3 days. We're just
Oh, actually, it is. What's today? Oh, yeah, Monday.
yeah. So three days we'll be back.
All right.
It's great. You're right. These back to back races. It's like, what do we? I hate to look forward, but what are we going to do in the winter? Jeez.
Well, there's a little bit. There's news that drops here and there.
That's
You
true.
can just do a once in a while, recap on what's happening. After the silly season, and then just figure out what's coming up for next year, right? So there'll be news every now and then. We can do something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see ya. Like I said, in a few days. Wayne Williams and Bart Murphy signing off. And remember, happiness isn't around the corner. It is the corner. Later.